So we're talking about Ellis Island and the 1964 to 1965 New York World's Fair. My name is Ryan. I'm joined here by Miles and Francesco, and this is the visual journey of everything that happens in Ellis Island and the New York World's Fair.
All right. I'll be taking you guys through the first couple slides and Ellis Island, and then I'll transition and give you guys to Ryan and Francesco. First, this is a picture of Ellis Island and what it looks like to arrive at Ellis Island. So these boats right here, the bottom deck of the boats is known as the steerage, and that's where most of the people would come off of. The steerage was really compact. They would oversell purposely the steerage so it would get crowded, be very unsanitary. And then I'm not sure what really happened with the A class members that weren't on the steerage, but I just know that everybody was able to arrive. When you first arrived, you see that little tunnel thing that connects them to the the main building. They would be separated. The men and the women would be separated into two categories, and the children would go with the women. So when next slide, when you got into the building, you would be in the big hall, and that's the main place for everything. And basically, what you would do is it could seat around 5,000 people, something around there. And they would ask you 29 questions basically on your family, your history, and like your plans to be here. So it was tons of people. Over what 12 million people were impacted through Ellis Island when it first ran. It ran from 1890 to 1950s. So those 12 million people today would make up one third of our entire country. You go down. Yeah, this is where you would probably be getting asked your 29 questions, and after the 29 questions, you're inspected by a doctor, and it will give you a check mark with like chalk. If you got a chalk check mark, then you would be destined for a second examination, or either had mental health. A lot of people were coming in with they had like this thing under their eyelids, and it was a contagious disease. So the United States wasn't trying to let anybody with diseases in, but that was only probably about 2% of the people that came in through that time. So there wasn't too many, but everybody took a risk. So it's known as the Island of Hope and Island of Tears. Those 2% would have to go back home, and basically all that time and all that money that they put to make a new life would basically go down the drain. You go to the next slide. This is like basically just a picture of immigrants. It's very diverse. People were Jewish, Russian, Turkish, even non-Europeans are coming over here through Ellis Island. Ellis Island really had given all the immigrants a dream and just hope on starting a new life, because where they were coming from was terrible. Some of these people were being killed and persecuted. All different kinds of traumas were taken in Ellis Island. Next slide. Ellis Island has two main parts. There's a hospital, and then there's the big hall, which I'm pretty sure the hospital is on the left and the big hall is on the right. The big hall was just registering people and trying to get them to the mainland. The hospital was taking care of stuff like tuberculosis and all different kinds of diseases, because 12 million people is a lot, and you didn't want to mess up the country. But Ellis Island was shut down around 1952, I believe, 1950s. But through its timeline, it was an immigrant destination to get a chance at America, and eventually it was repurposed with the Red Scare and World War II to contain aliens or radicals or all kinds of stuff. So now today Ellis Island is a national treasure, and it's a museum of immigration. I wish we got to see that during class, but that's really what Ellis Island is. And next is the World Fair of 1964. I'll be handing you guys to Ryan Pierce and Francesco.
Hi everyone, my name is Ryan Pierce. This is the picture of the Unisphere that is introducing modest architecture and color television and interactive exhibits, as we can see all around the World's Fair here. It's in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park, Peace Through Understanding. It's celebrated post-war and global unity, and it served as platforms for technological demonstrations, IBM, Ford, and other major corporations. I wish we went to here during the actual World's Fair, but that happened long ago. Um, the World's Fair demonstrates that New York has been a center for commerce, innovation, and culture. This is a picture of the IBM World's of the IAM, which was in the World's Fair, which had the building of the world of tomorrow. IBM showcased cutting edge computing and office technology, even though computers were still in their infancy. It's had turbulating museum machines, early devices for data processing. IBM emphasized with here how technology could streamline work and improve decision making, and it introduced the public to the idea of automation and data driven efficiency. And these are people walking across the IBM headquarters. And IBM had one of the most one of the most famous and futuristic exhibits at the fair. And it influenced the future of computing and adaptation. And the fair has allowed IBM to introduce technology to millions who have never seen computers. And it showed how technology was significant in the World's Fair. Here we have General Motors. General Motors was the significant too in the World's Fair because they had a building of the world of tomorrow as they featured, but it's not shown here. The Futurama exhibit, designed by Norman Bell Givis, a model of the future city with highways, skyscrapers, how cars and roads can restrict urban life. And it helped GM position itself as a visionary in transportation with modern urban planning, captured public imagination about cars, highways, and the possibilities of the 20th century. It featured concept cars, futuristic designs, and interactive rides inside here, which sleek modern designs reinforced GM's brand as a forward-thinking, technologically advanced brand, demonstrated the integration of design, technology, and culture in shaping daily life. GM used fairs to combine in marketing with education, showing how cars could use transform society into the idea of the American car culture. Here we have the famous Unisphere. The famous Unisphere was the in the World's Fair was a 12-story stainless steel globe representing Earth, a diameter of 140 feet, weighs 900,000 pounds, designed as the centerpiece of the fair of the Flushing Meadows Corona Park, Queens. It showcases global unit. I think we lost Francesco. Turn it. Uh, it shit. It symbolizes built to embody the fair's theme of peace through understanding. It showed continents, latitude, and longitude lines right here. Longitude and latitude lines represented hope for international collaboration during the Cold War era. Designed the Gilmore G. It was designed by Gilmore D. Clark with an engineering with Harbert and Chamberlain, and its construction materials were donated by steel from the construction places. It featured and around the world featured three stainless steel orbital rings. It's a centerpiece of the fair, Um, Thousands of visitors use it as a meeting and photo spot. After the fair ended, it remained and is now a major NYC landmark, symbol of the innovation. It's nicknamed the World's Fair Globe, and it's surrounded by fountains and landscaping that represent the oceans, featured in countless films, TV, and shows, and photographs of the NYC.
Hello, everyone. I'm Desko Kuma, and as Ryan went through the World's Fair, which was created by Robert Moses, who transformed this Flushing Park, which was usually a wasteland dumpster area, into this magnificent park that we visited during our class trip, but not in its prime, obviously. But it's interesting that the theme of this park was the peace through understanding, and in massive emphasis on unity and human achievement, which is demonstrated through the different things they had at this event. So we go to the next slide. So these are the type of innovations that were demonstrated at the World's Fair. As Ryan mentioned, there was things like the color TV, which was first premiered at the World's Fair, which is really interesting to think about, especially today, as it's such a common household item. But this was the first time the general public was exposed to this type of thing. That's really cool to think about. And then we had the picture phone, which is sort of like a pseudo Zoom sort of thing where you can talk and see who you're talking to at the same time, which at this moment in time was a big thing. Obviously, communication was still getting its rough early starts, but this was a massive leap into the future of what it could look like. So yeah. And then interesting, oh, go back one more slide.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no worries. And then interesting to me was the rocket ships that were on display there. Obviously, the space age.
Oh, the Wi-Fi is horrible. Go ahead. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. No, no worries. So I thought it was interesting that they showed rockets at this event, obviously referencing the upcoming space age and continuing that theme of peace to understanding and innovation and technological innovation by showing that, hey, we're going to space next. We're going to conquer and explore everything, which I think was really important for the people of the area and people visiting to understand that, we are going to do crazy things. We are going to advance society and evolve past our current status. So all these things represent an emphasis on industrialization in society at this time. And obviously that can be attributed to maybe why the World's Fair happened and, an emphasis on financial gain as investors were coming in, seeing this stuff, people were coming in, seeing this stuff, like, hey, I want that. That's obviously a business venture, which is a massive focus on a lot of these events and why these things really happen. But also I think it helps emphasize that idea of innovation and evolution for the human race and technological advancement, and how, while yes, it can provide a financial gain, but also demonstrates how we are evolving and we are continuing to develop new things and inspire things and promote a sense of futuristic optimism. We go next slide. So building on that, there are these weird architectural spires and designs promoting that futuristic look to the World's Fair, which again builds on that idea of innovation and evolution. So that was really cool. And also, no, go to the next slide, sorry. So this is obviously one of the attractions of Walt Disney. It's a small world ride, which was at the World's Fair and obviously helped inspire what would become Epcot. But I also wanted to use this time to talk about some of the things that were at the event besides the technological stuff, because also this was a event of culture and people from different cultures and regions would come here, have booths and vendors and whatnot and exhibits showcasing what they're all about and exposing new people to things they never seen or heard before. And again, all culminating into the idea of unity, which I thought was really important. So stuff like music was there, they premiered movies, they had performances, there was art, all further demonstrating the idea of unity and having these cultures give people their identities and probably reshape how other countries think of them and whatnot. So I thought it was really cool and really important to have at the World's Fair.
Here we have the Unisphere that hold on, someone's texting me. My bad. Um it's the it's It's 140 feet. It's a symbol built to embody the fair's theme of peace through understanding. It showed continents, latitude and longitude and latitude lines, and orbits of early satellites, represented hope for international collaboration during the Cold War era, which I thought was really interesting. We saw this during the second class when we went to the Queens. It was designed by Jamar D. Clark with engineering by Harbert and Chamberlain. The construction materials were donated by U.S. Steel Corporation. The featured three-line steel orbital line symbolizing the past of early satellites, emphasizing the modern space age. And it was a centerpiece of the fair. Thousands of visitors use it as a meeting spot and photo spot. After the fair ended, it remained and is now a major NYC landmark. And on to the next slide. We have a biography of the World's Fair by Samuel Lawrence and the Innocents of the 1964-1965 New York World's Fair, Syracuse, NY, Syracuse University Press, 2007, Triarbla, Joseph, Tomorrowland, the 1964-1965 World's Fair and the Transformation of America, Guilford, Connecticut, Lions Press, 2014. Miles can read that part.
Oh, the Ellis Island sources, yeah. Moreno Barry Ellis Island, Charleston, South Carolina, Arcadia Publishing, Canato Bay, Vincent J. American Passage, The History of Ellis Island, New York, Harper Collins, 2009. I think he's just an author, and both of those things are books.
And that is it for our project. We hope you enjoyed learning about Ellis Island, the World's Fair, and the everything that happened at Ellis Island, all the history, cultural legacy of the World's Fair too. And my name is Ryan.
Miles.
And I'm Francesco.
And that is a wrap.